welcome in one and all to what will prove to be a pivotal, some are saying, edition of KEW with our next main pay-per-view here and ready for us. We're checking we're live. We are indeed live. Perfecto. That's exactly what we needed. We are getting things kicking off here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure if you've been following along recently in the KEW, you'll know everything that's been happening, but we'll walk you through it as we get into our first main match of the Monster Match pay-per-view. A pay-per-view that is always explosive. Last year's one, of course, saw a ambulance match and a casket match, and we have the same again this year, but we'll get things kicked off and underway here with the KEW tag team titles on the line as the arena's plunged into darkness as the upstarts, the number one contenders in the tag division, come out here against the, some would say, shock KEW tag team champions. It is the Coven, who are chosen to be represented by the Witch Mother there and the Plowman, her favourite attack dog, of course. And the Coven have become somewhat of a menace in the KEW. The dark forces have risen around Halloween, the Monster Mash pay-per-view, and we are here to witness their greatness and their glory, and to see if they can put their money where their mouth is and finally take home a championship title for the Coven. They, of course, have this opportunity here, having had the Witch Mother last week, or actually not even a week ago, only a few days ago now, lose out on the number one contender spot to the Falcon. We'll come to that later this evening, as the Falcon, of course, will be in action taking on the KEW champion for the championship, and we'll come on to who that champion is very swiftly, ladies and gentlemen. We'll focus on the Coven, though, and their rise to glory that it's been, really. They've come through, of course, the tag division that was weakened, having lost the safety men, knocked off the Misfits, and some would say a surprising fashion. Perhaps the Misfits taking their eye off the ball recently in the KEW. They look like they should have been the second most dominant tag team in the KEW, having been former KEW tag champions. But the Coven's really come from nowhere and has taken that spot off of them. Maybe it's the dark time of year that it is. Maybe it's that darkness imbuing them and filling them with power. They are here to stay, and they are ready to roll, ladies and gentlemen. I've just realised I don't have any water in my glass. I'm not so sure I have time to rectify that one in between our next competitors coming in, so perhaps in between this match and the next match we'll look to rectify that situation very swiftly, ladies and gentlemen. But here we go then. Our tag team champions, featuring, of course, the new KEW heavyweight champion herself, the Man Crusher Alex, came into the KEW as a fresh upstart, teams up with her tag team partner. There he is with his tag team belt around his waist. She's a foregone hers, says she doesn't want the silverware weighing her down. We'll, of course, see her with the KEW Championship later this evening. A little smooch between them as the power couple make their way down to the ring, and we'll come on to how they quite got here in short terms. Ladies and gentlemen, they, of course, didn't look like they were doing much in the tag division. That woman there, the Man Crusher, knocks off the Assassin in the gauntlet match to become the number one contender for the KEW title. She then goes into a match against the Shinigami, which the Shinigami was dominating, we have to say. Tanj runs into the ring, cashes in the briefcase, it backfires on him, and of course she becomes the KEW champion. We'll cover that in more extensive detail, I'm sure, later this evening. And that then led to a furious exchange on social media with the Man Crusher and the Assassin at each other. The Assassin claiming he could defeat her anytime, any place. So she said, fine, you want to defeat me? Put your tag titles on the line. I'll take you on. I'll take your belt off of you. And she backed up her word with the actions. She is the KEW tag champion, and she is, of course, the KEW champion, the first athlete ever to hold both in the KEW. I don't think anyone would have had the odds on it being the Man Crusher, but goodness gracious me, she has well and truly not only lived up to the title of being the Man Crusher, but has lived up to the hype of coming out of the KEW Academy as one of the most promising athletes to come through the Academy in many a years, ladies and gentlemen. The Coven, though, will not take that lightly, I'm sure. You can see there the Plowman looking focused and motivated, and the Man Crusher raises her tag belt high in the air, screaming to to the KEW faithful. We'll have to see though, will she finish the night with both belts? Will she finish the night with any belts? That's a real question here, ladies and gentlemen. The tag team titles on the line first out of the gates though. Those who got it early, got their seats, will be well deserved to have got in and got a special ticket for this one. We're going to start with Miss Kasuj in the ring first, taking on the smaller person there, the Torpedo, who looked like the Man Crusher was giving him a few words there, maybe of encouragement, maybe telling him don't balls it up, start fast, start early, and try and wear the Witch Mother down early doors, take her out if you can. And looks immediately like he's listening to the advice of his missus there. Oh, the drop kick in the corner, right in the face, and the Man Crusher's off and down the apron, goes for an early cover here. Just a 1 count there though. We do of course have the special arena here for the monster mash with the picket fencing outlying the grass covered matting on the outside, resemblant of a graveyard. I'm sure the Witch Mother would have done many a dark ritual in the graveyards in her past, and maybe this will be the time for her to get the dark powers up in the KEW and really try and motivate herself and the Coven into some silverware at last in the KEW. She has of course been the slower starter here though. The Torpedo so far shutting her down. Oh, went for the clothesline, didn't have the power to knock the sinewy little man down. He's back in control of things here. Oh, goes for a charge into the corner but misses it completely, and now the Witch Mother, big headbutt there, driving the Torpedo back, but only momentarily as he gets an uppercut in, but then misses completely as he goes for the grapple into the ropes. Now up he goes. Oh, and a dropping headbutt there, and the KEW faithful are roundly booing both sets of athletes here. Onto the matting goes the Torpedo, and the Witch Mother goes for a cheeky cover now too. Just a 1 count there as the Torpedo shrugs the shoulder up. You have to question though, how much is the Man Crusher's mind on this match? Is she going to be focused here? Is she going to be having her mind split and be too focused on the KEW's the KEW's championship that's on the line later this evening? And will she be focused and take this match too lightly? She is at the moment allowing the Torpedo to take the brunt of the punishment from the Witch Mother, who again goes for a clothesline, but he only gets a diving senton there, and now he's rolled her over, going for the cover again. Early doors, I feel. Only a 1 count there. I said it was early doors indeed. A lot more punishment needed to put the Witch Mother away, especially when we're at the time of year for her to come to life. And here comes the KEW champion then, the Man Crusher in the ring. Oh, face busters the Witch Mother down immediately. The power on display from the Man Crusher. And oh, the kick to the head now as well before she can even get off the floor. And the Witch Mother looks dazed and confused, perhaps not quite set for this level of offense from the Man Crusher. Perhaps she took her a bit lightly and thought that potentially the Man Crusher's attention would be drawn elsewhere with the match later this evening. But the one thing we've seen from the Man Crusher is that she likes to stay focused, one thing at a time, very methodical. And oh, big drop kick there, drives the Witch Mother down, collapsing the lungs potentially of the Witch Mother. You could see the Plowman getting frustrated in his corner there. He wants to get tagged into this one. He is a athlete who likes to feel the bumps in the match, gets involved with things, and that's how he really gets himself motivated. The Witch Mother is much more of a momentum athlete, needs a bit of time to get going, and then once she's got the momentum in a match, can really swing it her way. Again, unable to get the tag in to the Plowman. The Torpedo relentless in his attack. He's not going to relinquish the tag team titles or be the reason that they are relinquished, it seems, but caught a little shy there, and as he gets 2 knees drilled into the chest from the Witch Mother. Now she goes after the leg, and again targeting the legs of the Torpedo, maybe trying to wear him down so he can't jump up quite as fast, so she might be able to get over and get that tag in soon. Maybe that's her thinking. A big headbutt there right onto the forehead of the Torpedo, now going for the back of the leg muscle again, and just as I said, targeting the leg so he doesn't get up too quickly. Tags in the attack dog now, and here comes the Plowman exploding into the match. He looked like he was ready and primed there, and you can see the Man Crusher won in the tag. She sees the danger of the Plowman in the ring. Few furious kicks and tags back into the Witch Mother. I thought he would have stayed in the ring a little longer there. Perhaps he's had enough of dealing with the Torpedo and sees the Witch Mother as the premier athlete and thinks that she might be able to put him away from this point forward. She's now telling the fans to cheer themselves up for this one. She gets poised in the corner. Oh, went for the axe handle, but missed it completely, and the torpedo gets a shot into the ribs. A poor tag, really, from the Ploughman. He should have stayed in the ring for a bit longer, I think, and given the Witchmother time to rest. The shot to the knee there. The Witchmother now limping out of the corner. That's not what the Ploughman will want to see, and I can assure you the other cover members watching backstage will be pensive about this one here, ladies and gentlemen, as she's down on the floor holding her head. Looks like she doesn't know what day of the week it is, and more bad news for her. The Man Crusher's now into the ring and rolls in and out of the ring for a bit of a breather there. Smart ring awareness from the Witchmother, but it doesn't pay off as she gets drilled into the canvas by the Man Crusher, and then boots her in the ribs and sends her flying across the ring. The power on display from the Man Crusher into the corner. Big elbow there. The thing that the Man Crusher doesn't realise, though, is that Miss Kasuj is no man, of course. She is the Dark Witch. Oh, she gets her head drilled into the floor. Perhaps it'll take a non-male athlete to defeat the Man Crusher, or maybe it'll just be the force of things over the rest of the evening's displays here. Kicking the guts. Oh, and the knee driven to the face of the Witchmother. She is down, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't look like she knows what day of the week it is. Another stomp on the large nose of the Witchmother. Another big drilled knee right to the face. She's really doing the damage here to the Witchmother, and the Witchmother is in all kinds of problems here, ladies and gentlemen. Trapped in the corner now. Can't get out of it. Head bounced off the turnbuckle. And this one for a tag team title match looks like it's only going one way, ladies and gentlemen. The Witchmother again unable to get out the corner. A swift elbow, but nothing out of that. And now the roll up here for the cover. 1, 2, and gets her just about, gets her shoulder up somehow. And look at this, she's showing off now, the Man Crusher, whilst the Witchmother crawls slowly past her. She's spinning around. She might make herself dizzy here and not know what's going on. And the Witchmother dives and gets the tag in whilst the Man Crusher's busy spinning. And here comes the Ploughman. She turns around just in time to see him. Perhaps all of her showboating was just showing off for the KEW fans. Now lifts him down, power slams him onto the floor. And now look at this, lifts the torpedo up and slams the torpedo down right on top of the Ploughman. Goes for the cover, and the Witchmother's in to break it up early doors before it's even a 1 count there. Immediately the Ploughman in a bit of difficulty there as he was crushed by the tiny body of the torpedo there. The power on display from the Witchmother. Dragged down to the floor. Now the Ploughman, a running boot there right in the face of the Ploughman. Again hooks the leg. The Witchmother helpless to get in and stop the count this time, but he gets a shoulder up at the last second. There you can see he's gripping the chest. You have to wonder how much damage has been done to the cover, and they look like they're on life support here. It's all about the power couple here, ladies and gentlemen, showing off what they've got on display. And here we go, we're going to get a reverse here. Suplexes her down, power slams it down now, lifting the Man Crusher. The power of the torpedo crushing the air out of the Ploughman, and this has got to be it, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I thought it was going to be 3. He gets a shoulder up. Goodness gracious me, and up pops the Ploughman faster than the Man Crusher here, and maybe this will be a swinging momentum that was desperately needed by the cover. He tries to get to the corner for the tag, can't make it there though, unfortunately for him. Onto the shoulder he goes, slides down to the back of it though, and a big shot to the knee. And now all of a sudden the Man Crushers might be in a spot of bother. She's isolated in the corner, but it looks like she might have recovered swiftly enough, but maybe not. A few battling elbows there from the Ploughman to get the Man Crusher off of her for a few minutes, and this is maybe the reprieve that the cover needed here. A bit of a breather, a bit of offense, because so far all they've done is absorb the punishment. But yet again the Man Crusher's now got him pinned in the corner. Onto the second rope she goes, and the Bulldog out of the corner, driving the face into the matting there. Goes for the cover again to wrap it up. This might be enough now. 2, 3, there it is. They've retained the KEW Tag Team Championships. It is the power couple, the dominant force in the KEW. And you have to question, she's defended that. Will the Falcon look at this backstage and say, well, goodness gracious me, she put them away without even barely breaking a sweat. She does appear to have her arm around her ribs there. We'll have to see if that one pays dividends later this evening, ladies and gentlemen, or whether that will be a non-issue, or maybe it's just a bit of trapped wind or something from her last few moves there. She was, of course, dropped ribs first onto her opponent, and we'll have to see if she can shake that one off. Excuse me just for a second whilst I get myself a drink of water here. You may have heard the subtle sounds of my dishwasher on in the background there. We'll move to our second match for the evening. This one should be an absolute slobber knocker here. We've seen many an ambulance match in the KEW go the distance, but this one, of course, one of the most heated rivalries in the KEW. It's been cooking for months and months, and this is where it will culminate, ladies and gentlemen. Almost a full calendar year after the breakup of the Square Watermelons, which saw Mark and Benji turn on one another. And Mark now adopting this dark new persona, coming to the ring with his steel chair, which he calls the Benji Batterer. Can he get the victory over Benji this evening? Can he stuff him in the ambulance? Who's going to do each other the worst damage out of this one? The fans will be baying for blood. He will be baying for Benji's blood, and I'm sure Benji will be baying for his blood. It of course starts with both of them falling out with one another after the tag team turned sour in a tag team title cage match, which saw Benji escape the cage early, leaving Mark on his own. Mark's never forgiven him since then. The two of them got bitter over it last year and came to a head at the last main pay-per-view of the season, of course, which led to Benji retaining the KEW Championship against that man in a steel cage, or sorry, a Hell in the Cell match. Mark, of course, did not feel that was a fair match, and after that was after Benji for the entirety so far of this season. Benji, though, we've seen in recent weeks a different side to Benji. He said that he's ready to put Mark behind him, he's ready to put this rivalry behind him, he's going to put his career away. He knows that Mark's used the same language with him, that he wants to end his career. He said, if that's what it's going to take to get him off my back, then I will finish his career. I will finish him tonight. Someone's leaving here in the ambulance. It's not going to be me, I can tell you that. This is all coming from Benji's socials and from his interviews. You can see there, right in front of the Skeleton King with his hand raised high, the Red Ranger. Of course, he'll feel a little bit aggrieved. He lost the KEW Championship whilst Mark was lurking in the background. Mark, of course, will not care too much about that one, as the ambulance levitates its way down to the ring. And the rules are explained. No pinfalls, no submissions, no DQs. Use whatever you want. Break your opponent. Get them in the ambulance. Get the doors shut. We know the rules by now. We, of course, saw the Shinigami in action in one of these ambulance matches last season. That was an absolute slobber knocker between him and the Spyclops. And, of course, the Spyclops came the victor there, which led to the casket match. We do, of course, have a casket match on the cards later this evening, featuring the Shinigami again, and you can probably guess against who he'll be facing. But for now, we'll focus on this bitter and heated rivalry has consumed the KEW for months and months. It's been going on for forever, and it's about time that the two of them put this one behind themselves and really focused on getting their careers back on track in the KEW. Benji, of course, has been the KEW champion, and Mark has only had the belt once. I'm sure he will look to potentially get rid of Benji. If he can get rid of Benji and then move himself forward in the KEW, then who knows what could be on the cards for him in the future. A big crossbody there. He certainly started the more aggressive of the two here. Big explosive moves from Mark, and it looks, I think he might have cut Benji open. Yeah, you can see blood on the side of Benji's head as well. Maybe that's from a early shot where the glasses have caught Benji right in the face as he drop kicks him off the apron here, and we're going outside immediately here, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the KEW fans are here for. That child in the front row is baying for blood as Mark is dominating the early goings here. Slams Benji down on the outside, back of the head, right onto the temporary turf installed. I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that turf provides absolutely no padding from the concrete underneath it. Mark going for a kick there, but Benji catches him a dragon screw, nasty, vicious dragon screw. But Mark pops back to his feet swiftly, only to be
launched back in the ring by Benji, who's happy to take the breather and look for the first bit of hardware under the ring, and he's pulled the steel chair out, and that's not a smart move when the Skeleton King, of course, loves the steel chair himself. Pulls a chair out of his own. Is that the Benji breaker? Now both men with chairs marking the ring. Oh, the Benji breaker over the back. Goodness gracious me. Goes for a second shot. Benji rolls out of the way smartly, and now Mark out of the ring as well, and Benji resting on the inside of the ropes. Mark turns around to face him, slides in the ring. Both men a little dazed and confused. Oh, and another chair shot there. Mark playing the mind games here, dancing in and out of the ropes with the steel chair. Benji paying the price as he takes a third chair shot to the back of the head, and now Mark out of the ring. I wonder if he's going to go and look to open the ambulance doors here. He seems focused and determined with it. Leaves the Benji breaker that he calls the chair and opens the ambulance doors and says to Benji, get ready for a trip to Chase Farm. It's about time you headed to A&E. Oh, dropping him on the back there. Thing Mark will forget, of course, is that Chase Farms A&E shut many moons ago, and it will be, of course, North Mid. Oh, into the ambulance Benji goes, or Barnet Hospital that Benji will be going off to. No Stevenage Hospital for him. He'll be away from his friends and family as he's rammed into the ambulance. Now is Mark and Benji trying to desperately get hold of him, but Mark bursts back out of the ambulance of hits and chops and a drop kick right to the back of Benji, which already looks like it sustained significant damage from Mark. A little grip of the ribs as well from Benji. Maybe those chair shots taking the effect now. Mark, explosive offense in this one so far. Benji yet to get into it. Another big elbow from the Skeleton King. Has hold of Benji by the back of the neck now. Looks like he might have dazed and confused him with a few elbows and rams the head back into the ambulance. Spins him round. And is he going to look to try and get him in the ambulance? No, Benji blocks the hit there. I think Mark was going to try and punch his lights out a bit more and then get him in the ambulance, and Benji picks him up like a toddler and tosses him in off the shoulder. And Mark now the first man in the ambulance, but crawls back out quickly before Benji can even manage to get in it himself. And now is rammed into the ambulance again by the little man. He's sitting on the edge of the step here, and Mark taking a little time to take a breather here. Now tosses Benji into the ambulance, and can he get the door shut? He's trying to get one shut here. He'd have to say, if this is going to be a power game over who has the most power to shut the ambulance doors, that Benji probably has the leverage, being the taller man, and that'll help him in the long run, you'd have to imagine. Now lifted high, reverse suplex on the outside, dangerously close to the steel step of that ambulance as well here, ladies and gentlemen. Now Benji, look at this, leveraging this step there on the arm of Mark as he twists around and slams Mark's arm down onto the turf on the outside. Mark now exploding round the corner to go straight after Benji. Benji has the bat though. Mark mistimes his grapple, and Benji bats him right in the face, and down goes the Skeleton King. He looks woozy now, ladies and gentlemen. He's rolled back into the ring. I'm not so sure that's the smartest move from Benji. I'd have kept things on the outside if I was him. He's a bit more forgiving in the ring as Mark rolls out of the way here, but only to get a drop kick square in the chops, and down he goes, clutching the ribs. You could see maybe that drove the air out and winded the Skeleton King there. Benji on the offense now. Mark pops back to his feet, but only to get a left hook from Benji. He returns it with a kick of his own, and now crossbody off the ropes again from Mark. High flying manoeuvres from the little fella here, and he's got the other steel chair that Benji pulled out. Chair shot to the noggin. Goodness gracious me, you can see Benji holding the head as a vicious blow. As Benji rolls away, but Mark back on the offense as the steel chair careers around the KEW ring there, the Monster Mash ring. Not getting hold of Benji now. Big snap suplex there. He's going for the Three Amigos as made famous by Eddie Guerrero. Rolls him over. He's not going to do the last one on the chair, is he? That chair's positioned right there. Up he goes. Right on the steel chair, ladies and gentlemen. And Benji's in big bother now. His back might be in tatters after that type of offence from Mark. Over the top rope goes Benji. And Mark now might look to put things away on the outside. Can he put Benji away? He's poised. Is this going to be a skull crusher on the outside, ladies and gentlemen? The crown crusher that is the Benji backstabber instead, right to the spine of Benji. My goodness gracious me, is this a tactic here from the little man? He knows maybe if he can weaken the back of Benji, that Benji might not have to purchase, being the taller athlete, to hold the door open. It might be the trick that he needs here, but caught shy at the last minute, but again catches Benji going for one of his patented kicks, and again rammed back into the ambulance. Mark is ready to put this one to bed, it seems. Benji poised on the step now. Mark again taking a little breather. I'm not so sure those breathers are really wise or necessary in a match like this. Trying to shut the first of the ambulance doors, and you have to wonder how much is that putting strain on the lower back of Benji here. Has he got enough power in the legs and in the lower back to avoid the door being slammed shut? He does just, and the door buffeted back in Mark's face, but Benji has to question. He's been inside the ambulance twice now, and now, oh, look at it, smashing the face of Mark into the floor. He's got to really try and battle back in this one. Benji seems to be targeting the arms. That might be again a clever offensive tactic from the KEW former champion. Is now climbing to the top of the ambulance. Well, that's not a smart place to be with a athlete like the Skeleton King. Now Benji poised on top of the ambulance, ready and waiting up there, and the Skeleton King is more than happy to go and meet him. You can see Benji waiting at the front of the ladder here, and Mark catches him shy though, tucks him between the legs, has a little look around, and the Skull Crusher on top of the ambulance. Goodness gracious me. Benji flops to the floor, gets up quickly though. I'm not so sure how he recovered quite so fast there from having his head bounced off the top of the ambulance there. Goodness gracious me, I thought I was going to be at blocks to hit now, and now a big furious chops here from Mark, gets him around Hurricanrana, spinning around all over the place, and flips Benji down at the last second on top of the ambulance. He's lucky he didn't end up in row one for the KEW fans, and now is Mark going to look to put Benji away on top of the ambulance. That surface unforgiving here, a little kick to the back there, didn't like he got all of what he was going for. And now Mark sent off the top of the ambulance by Benji at the last second, and Benji jumps off the ambulance here, and Mark waiting, but he gets missed in the face. Down goes Mark, he can't see a thing, he doesn't know where he is. Now this has surely got to be Benji's opportunity to get him in the ambulance when he can't see a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see the blue on the arms, on the face. Now he goes for the submission here, trying to maybe break the arms of Mark so that he can't get the ambulance door back open. He'll have to release it at some point, of course. Submissions don't count for diddly squat in this match, but the damage might have been done to Mark. He's blinded, his arms have been ripped to shreds, he's on the shoulders, he's going in the back of the ambulance, and has he got anything left in the tank here, ladies and gentlemen, to battle back out of this one? Benji trying to get the door shut, Mark furiously battling away here, man. You've seen it at the last second there to try and get the door shut. How much power has he got left in those arms though, ladies and gentlemen? How much is left in the tank? Gets the door back in Benji's face. Goodness gracious me, a fine escape there from Marky. He'll be very fortunate, he'll feel, when again he picks up his favourite friend, the Benji Breaker, and Benji going for his own steel chair. Both men approaching each other. Chair shot to Benji's face. I think he got both chairs over the top of the head there. Now Mark slamming the Benji Breaker on the floor, drops it as it looks warped into the middle of the ring. And the sliding dropkick right into the gentleman's canasters, I thought, but is into the knee instead. A lucky escape there from Benji, it looked like. Goodness gracious me, over the top rope he goes now, and surely Mark's going to look to try and get him back in that ambulance. And the thing you've got to be worried about now if you're Benji is how much more damage can you absorb on the outside. He was slow into this one, and Mark's taken advantage of it, and again the backstabber on the outside. He calls it the Benji backstabber from all of the backstabbing Benji's done to him in his career, breaking up the tag team, knocking him off in the championship matches. And the KEW faithful are chanting one more time. They want another Benji backstabber here. Into the ambulance goes Benji, and has Mark got enough left to get the door shut? Has Benji got anything left? The back must be in tatters. Can he hold on here, ladies and gentlemen? There's one door. Can Mark get the other door shut? Is Benji going to be laid up in the ambulance, carted off to hospital, ladies and gentlemen? He's battling furiously here to not let Mark shut the second door. The last second he bursts open and fires out of the ambulance here. Must have been all of the power of the Red Ranger's belt that he tapped into there and tried to really enhance his chances in this match. A late break out of the ambulance. I thought the Skeleton King might have had it there, ladies and gentlemen. And now can Benji turn the twist around, and can he get a spread of offense that'll really get him back into this one? Mark on his knees, slow back to his feet, and Benji taking the full advantage there. And now has hold of Mark again ripping the arms, trying to rip him out of the sockets, it looks like here, stretching across the Skeleton King, and lets him down on a toe drag there from the Skeleton King, driving Benji to the floor, but only to get a drop kick straight back in the chest. And Mark now looks like the slower athlete, and that's the Benji Breaker. He picks up, and he slams him in the head with it, and you can see Mark on the floor there. That reinforcement for steel chair, as Mark likes to call it. The Benji breaking one now has hold of him from behind, and again he's got him wrapped up in a submission. Again, submissions don't count for anything, but it'll do enough to wear your opponent down. You can see Mark's tapping away there, and now Benji must feel the damage is done to the arms. Mark's not got anything left in the tank. Surely this is going to be the time for Benji to put Mark in the ambulance, and he'll be the one carted off to A&E. You can see him gripping his back now as well. Maybe that chair shot to the head and the damage to the arms. What's been done to the shoulders, again stomping on the arms and the shoulders. A good tactical offense from Benji, and the furious kicks. Here we go on the outside. Big heel kick there, spinning heel kick, drives the little man down right next to the ambulance. He was like dazed and confused now with no power left in the arms. Surely this is going to be Benji's time. Rams him head first into the ambulance and spins him round. Surely he's only got to pop him in the ambulance now, and this will be it for him, ladies and gentlemen. He's surely not going to have enough power left to get out of this one. He's up against the door here, battling furiously. How much has Benji got left as well with the back, trying to get those doors shut, battling again now. I think Mark's going to be the one going off to A&E here, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be getting those shoulders seen to, and surely the ligaments will be damaged. Oh no, he's burst out at the last second here, and you can see he flops on the floor almost lifelessly at the last second there. Big hits now from the Skeleton King. He sees this as maybe his last chance, the last real throw of the dice, if you like. A big kick to the guts, tucks in between the legs, not on the outside. Oh, I think he was going for the package pile driver there. Of course, I haven't seen the pile driver brought back in by the King Daddy. He has his own version, the package pile driver, and he was going to try and package pile drive Benji on the outside, who now has the baseball bat. The Skeleton King down and not moving and receiving back shots to the back of the head here. A vicious onslaught from Benji. We did say that we'd seen a new side to Benji since this rivalry had turned bitter between the two of them, and it has, of course, led to this brutal assault now as Benji is battering the life out of Mark with the bat. He doesn't seem content to get him in the ambulance. He just seems content to try and finish his career, which he said was the aim of the game. Oh, another backstabber right to the spine of Benji. What a twist here, ladies and gentlemen, at the last second. Mark with a backstabber. Is that going to be enough? Benji's down. He's clutching the back. He's rammed head first into the ambulance. And Mark now, surely, if he can get Benji into the ambulance, has he got enough here, ladies and gentlemen? Launches him in. And now, has Benji got any power left to battle back the injured back? He's going to need some serious medical attention to that. One door shut here, ladies and gentlemen. Is the second one about to be closed by His Majesty? The Skeleton King is furiously battling. Oh, but no, Benji at the last second kicks the doors open and hops out. He looks fresh as a daisy, but Mark, more explosive offense. Oh, Benji backed his head off the ambulance there, and now Mark has the bat, and Mark can twist and really go for it. The vindictive little man with the bat. Benji back to his feet, but only to get more right hooks, and again bounces his head off the ambulance. Oh, the double legs right to the crotch of Benji, and another axe handle right to the face of Benji on the floor. And you can see Benji now looks like he's in a world of bother, with a leg drop right across the neck there from the Skeleton King. Another shot to the face. Mark now picks Benji back up to his feet. Doesn't want to take too much time on his offense though. Whips him down, and a big drop kick right into the ambulance. Goodness gracious me, crushing the head of Benji. You'd have to question now, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's not just a back brace that Benji's going to need after this, whether it's going to be a neck brace, whether he's going to have to get concussion checks. He was just drop kicked by the Skeleton King into the back of the ambulance after receiving bat shots to the cranium as well. And now surely Benji might not know what day of the week it is in there. He's still battling, fighting furiously to not be put away here by his arch nemesis, but it is the Skeleton King on the offensive. Can he get the door shut? Battling, pushing furiously. Oh, in the last seconds again, Benji bursts out of the door, and again the Skeleton King, slower of the two athletes up. He looks absolutely spent, and Benji's got to see this as a sign here. He knows that the Skeleton King can't get things done against him, and oh my god, he's climbing up to the top of the ambulance here. What on earth has he got planned from up there, ladies and gentlemen? He looks like he's ready and waiting for Mark to come back up and join him. Oh, goes for the crossbody and mistimes it horrifically. And now Mark climbing to the top of the ambulance and waiting for Benji up there. Both men want to finish this one on top of the ambulance, gives a little point to the KEW fans and says, get ready for something special from the top of the hill. Last time they were up here, Mark, of course, was sent flying off. A furious elbow from Mark and a big right fist. And the backstabber on top of the ambulance. And Benji looks like he's crushed in half now. Now can Mark look to finish things off. Benji's back must be in tatters off the top of the ambulance. Lands back first as well on the edge of the KEW arena. My goodness gracious me, his back must be in smithereens, ladies and gentlemen. If that's not done your vertebrae in, then nothing will. Goodness gracious me. Vicious, violent onslaught from the Skeleton King. He did promise, of course, at the start of the KEW season that he was going to end the career of Benji, and you have to wonder if the damage that he's done here this evening would have done that. Shuts one door, and Benji looks absolutely forlorn in the back of that ambulance now, trying to get the second door shut. Can he do it? He's come close numerous times, battling, and there it is. Gets the door shut, the door locks, bangs on the paddy wagon, and off he goes. The Skeleton King defeats Benji in an all-out slobberknockosaurus of a match. Goodness gracious me, look at the blood dripping from his head, dripping everywhere. I bet he doesn't know what day of the week it is or what he was meant to be doing now. He looks a little dazed and confused as he pads his way around the ring here, happy with his victory, happy to finally put Benji behind him. And Benji, of course, my goodness me, how long will he be out of action now, ladies and gentlemen? His back must be in smithereens. 4 or 5 backbreakers in that match there, the backstabber, sorry, and thrown off the top of the ambulance right at the end to deliver the final punishment. Goodness gracious, I knew it was going to be an absolute hellishly slobberknockery match. I did not expect that level of violence, ladies and gentlemen. A real turnout for the books, that one. I also didn't really have the Skeleton King on my cards to win that one. I thought it would be the former KEW champion Benji for that one, and we'll move to our next match for the evening whilst we try and recover from that match. This one's going to be almost as hellish, I feel, ladies and gentlemen. This could be, anything could happen here. It is the Hardcore Championship on the line that we'll see two former tag team members, and it is when these tag teams fall apart, it gets bitter. It gets bitter fast, and this one, goodness me, ladies and gentlemen, this one has got bitter fast. Here he is, James the Cat, the challenger for this evening, going for the Hardcore Championship against his former tag team partner, the BFG. And of course, James, we've seen in recent weeks, he's become a bitter and angry man, whilst he still likes his rocking entrance and his rocking music. Tries to pump up the KEW fans. They don't look particularly thrilled about him and his antics, of course. It looks like one person's there telling him to get bent in the front row. But James the Cat, of course, this rivalry started when he was injured by King Daddy in a hardcore qualification match. Delivered 2 pile drivers on top of a stop sign, giving James the Cat a vicious concussion that knocked him out of action for a couple of weeks, meaning he missed the main pay-per-view, which he was livid about. He feels he should have been able to beat King Daddy. He should have been in the Hardcore Championship match against the Falcon. And no, it was, of course, the BFG who took his spot in a fatal 4-way that saw the Ploughman in there as well. And I'm struggling to remember. Of course, the BFG, the Ploughman, the Assassin, and King Daddy. And it was that man there. He walked away victorious. I believe he pinned King Daddy, not the Assassin. The Assassin aggrieved to have lost the belt, but didn't mind too much as he saw it as a stepping stone in the KEW, where he was able to go from Hardcore Champion to use that to push himself up the power rankings and get himself in the conversation for the main belt, which is where he's ended up here, ladies and gentlemen, going into that gauntlet match, losing that, claiming he should have been the number 1 contender, and of course being in a tag team with the CEO. It's all about who you know. Sometimes he was announced as the number 2 contender, and when the Man Crusher took the belt, he was the man who stepped up next and is getting the title shot later this evening against the Man Crusher, who we've already seen successfully defend 1 championship. Can she do it again? And can that man who's showing off to the KEW faithful do it here as well? Can he defend against his former tag team champion?
Introducing the challenger from London, England, weighing in at 222 pounds,
And there he is, James the Cat, arms spread, ready to go, ready to take on his former tag team partner. It was, of course, a tag team that was sandwiched together by the CEO. They became favourites of the KEW fans very swiftly with their antics in the ring, became KEW tag team champions very swiftly. But of course, as with many a KEW champion, it ends up that a singles belt gets in the way of tag team glory, and their tag team fell apart, and James the Cat decided that that belt there was more important to him than his friendship with the BFG. He's now going to look to put the BFG behind him in the Hardcore Championship division and really take it by storm. He saw, of course, the Falcon successfully defend the belt many a time. Can the BFG turn things on here and can get his first main title defence? Well and truly secured a big clothesline there, drives James the Cat down to the mat, and a big boot from James the Cat backs off his former tag partner, and immediately a submission in. The referee had his back turned there, now weighs it off at the last minute as the big fella throws James the Cat off. A big shot to the guts of James the Cat as well, takes him now over to the ropes and rests him against them, picks him up off the ropes here and throws him to the outside. Goodness gracious me, hellish assault there from the BFG, and not from the top rope here. Massive elbow driving the wind out of James the Cat. That's 600 pounds of love muscle crushing your opponent on the outside. And you can see the women in the front row are loving the close-up of the BFG and watching him go to work here. The men not so much. They're a little bit worried that the BFG might take their women if he successfully defends the belt here. Has James the Cat on the shoulder now, drops him right on the apron right next to those steel steps, but he's back swiftly to his feet, only for more punishment as he's driven ribs first into the steps here, picked up again by the BFG, back to his feet slowly, James the Cat here, and here's the BFG in the early going, who now gets hold of him again, big backdrop, right in the corner of the stairs. You can see James the Cat gripping the back of his head there. I wonder if his head clipped the stairs on his way down. The BFG picks him up again and launches him towards the stairs, and the BFG fully in control of this one. The Hardcore Champion sees all the women in the audience, is ready to put on a display for them. The two women in the front row there on the left of the screen are absolutely loving what they're seeing. She's got a camera out, she's taking a picture of the big fella as he vaults over the stairs now and continues his vindictive assault on James the Cat, who gets a small reprieve by reversing the Irish whip there. The BFG back to his feet slowly, it would appear, now throws James the Cat down out of the way and running after him, and big elbow on the outside, driving the wind out of James the Cat again. And you have to wonder how long it's going to take before he goes under the ring and looks for some hardware. He's created a bit of separation here, gets the table out here, a bit slow getting it out, but James the Cat took too long and gets the table slammed in the face here as the BFG launches it at him again on the outside. It's laying precariously in the way there. The table rolled into the ring. Here comes the BFG then between the ropes as James the Cat lays in position, goes for the cover early doors. It might be enough though. No, just not even a one count there. And you can see the BFG look disappointed getting back to his feet, misses the punch, and his return for that is a springboard tornado DDT from the Hardcore #1 competitor, James the Cat. Big DDT there as well, trying to maybe do the damage early doors to the cranium of the BFG. More blows to the head, trying to maybe get a concussion in for him. He knows how dangerous those concussions can be in the KEW. Under he goes now, big elbow to the face, doesn't fell the big fella. A more explosive offense from James the Cat here, and a big shot to the guts there, kicks him between the legs, has hold of him, rolls him up here and spins him around for a sit down driver there, hooks the leg as well. 1, 2. I thought he might have had it out of nowhere there. The BFG taking his time with that one, crawls up into the corner now as James the Cat, it looks like he's taking a breather there, the BFG. James the Cat's going to go looking for something under the ring, and he's got a ladder here, ladies and gentlemen. Is it a long? It is the long ladder. He's setting it up over the announce table here, between the announce table and the ring, and you have to wonder how much damage James the Cat has planned with that. Runs around the ring now for the BFG. He's got the trash can and knocks the trash can out of his hands. The BFG took far too long with that one. More explosive offense from James the Cat as he gives him the DDT on the outside. We did, of course, these two met only a few weeks ago in the KEW, and it was the BFG then who came out victorious after giving James the Cat a nasty stink face in the corner, gassing James the Cat, driving the air from the lungs with those large cheeks, and of course with the insufferable smell that's produced from them. It does mean that you're unable to suck in as much air as you would normally, reduces your explosiveness in the ring, as now he falls down on the edge of the ring there. Looks like he might have hurt his wrist there. I have to keep an eye on that one, ladies and gentlemen. Picking up the garbage can now, and tossing it at the BFG. I feel like he bounced off him initially and didn't have any impact. Almost like a Pokemon there, had no effect on him. Back to his feet now, James the Cat picking up the BFG. More battling elbows from the BFG, getting James the Cat off of him. Needs that break in separation here, and throws him back into the ring. He's taking his time back in the ring here. Is the big fella a bit slow, it looked like, but just about caught James the Cat in time before anything disastrous happened, and now has James the Cat in the dangerous position where he doesn't want to be. Slams him down out of the corner, and he might now look to crush the life out of him. Goes to the second rope here. What's he got in store? Diving off. Oh my goodness me, that's 600 pounds of love muscle crushing your body. Gets a 2 count there. James the Cat tosses him off though. Good power from James the Cat to get 600 pound man off the top of you, but he's in the corner dangerously now. The BFG drags him out. Oh no, he's not going to do this, is he, ladies and gentlemen? He's got the cheeks ready, crushes him here with the cheeks right across the chest, and now we might look to put him away. Drags him to the centre of the ring, out of position for him to do any more damage in the corner. Whips him back into the corner again. He's not done delivering the punishment. Scoop slams him down now, and now we might look to put James the Cat away. Goes to the second rope here. James the Cat, the big splash out of the corner, crushing the ribs of James the Cat and forcing the air out of his lungs. Has he got enough left? He does, just to get a shoulder up. I can't believe he managed to get the shoulder up there, ladies and gentlemen. I thought that would have been enough. Misses the headbutt now, the BFG. I thought that James the Cat would have had his ribs caved in. The stunner out of nowhere from James the Cat. Is this the switching momentum, the change that was needed? 1, 2. He gets a shoulder up somehow. I thought that might have been it as well. This one's on a knife edge, ladies and gentlemen. Thought James the Cat had his ribs crushed. The air forced out of his lungs. Maybe he was smart, emptied his lungs before the BFG landed on him, crushing him. But no, James the Cat pops up, delivers the stunner, and now he's on top of the ladder. Is the BFG. The referee's in the way. Looks like he was trying to hold up James the Cat from any potential assault that James had planned. The BFG now resting on the ladder, and James the Cat taking his sweet time, climbing to the top turnbuckle. How much longer is the BFG going to be there? He's put it through the ladder. Goodness gracious me, a vicious backdrop from James the Cat. Both men down as he delivers the vicious backdrop off the top of the ladder onto the on the top of the turnbuckle, putting the BFG through the ladder. 600 pounds crashing through the ladder, and here comes the stop sign. Is that the same stop sign that concussed the James the Cat for him not to have the Hardcore Championship shot? We don't know, ladies and gentlemen, but it is a dangerous implement. It was, of course, one of those stop signs that was used on James the Cat, giving him the concussion by King Daddy, which led to the BFG getting the title chance and him taking it well and truly. And now he's taken too long about things on the outside, and the BFG spotted the stop sign and has it here. And is he going to look to put James the Cat away with it? Misses it furiously on the floor, but did he just put it in position? We have to ask, ladies and gentlemen. Big shot to the back of James the Cat, and he looks down at that stop sign now as the BFG headbutts him right down onto the floor again as well. Now going for another big splash, driving the air out of James the Cat's lungs, and you have to wonder how much more has James the Cat got left in the tank. Has he got enough to fend off the BFG? As he goes into the stairs, if he wasn't depleted of air already from the lungs, then the BFG must have done it there by ramming him into these steel steps. James the Cat trying to take too long after going for that hellish move off the top of the turnbuckle, putting the BFG through the ladder. Vicious, vindictive move from James the Cat. Now here goes the stop sign right into the back of James the Cat. Rolls away from it somewhat, but only to get for the BFG to come back on the offensive momentarily. Now James the Cat back in position, throwing the BFG off to the side, screams to the KEW fans. One last charge is this from James the Cat. One last bit of offense, a stunner on the outside. Down goes the BFG, and is this going to be James the Cat's opportunity? He's not getting him in the ring though. He's going under the ring. He's pulling out a steel chair, and maybe this is what he was looking for all along. Pulls the chair out. Chair shot to the BFG, and another one to the big fella on the arm. Rolls out of the way of that one, but only momentarily. I think he's going to get it right in the face, and there here it is, across the face, across the knee as well, and now threatening to do more damage with the chair. He looks like he's ready and bent to destroy the BFG with that chair, but the BFG pops up and wrangles the chair off of him, only to throw James the Cat down to the outside, and a big elbow drop again, driving the wind from the lungs of James the Cat. And the BFG now going for a stroll around the ring here. He's taking his time. I don't know where he's going. Maybe he was trying to give his hotel room number to someone in the front row. Oh, and a running DDT from James the Cat. Catches the BFG midway through his shenanigans, trying to take someone else's woman, and he's had enough of that kind of behaviour from his former tag team partner. Whips now into the ring is James the Cat by the BFG. A dangerous position for James the Cat to be in. This one has to finish in the ring. Big clothesline there, drives James the Cat down, and now if the BFG can maybe crush the wind out of the air of James the Cat's lungs, now catches him, lifts him high and has him down on the floor, goes for the cover. The hellacious battle isn't over. 2, 3, the BFG successfully defends. James the Cat defeated here by his former tag team partner. It is the BFG. He is the hardcore champion. No one can get that belt off of him. He of course didn't lose it to the assassin. Rips the belt away from the referee. And now all those men in the audience, you can see in the back row, he's getting a picture of him there. Maybe that's one for the wife to take home. She probably told him, get a picture on the back of that sweaty man. I need those sweaty buns for when I get home later. This is what we're going to be looking at whilst we're going and doing things in the bedroom. I want those printed out and stuck on the ceiling. Thank you very much. The BFG knows he was in a battle though against his former tag team partner, and he knows that is one hell of a victory to have knocked it off. A little look there as well at some of the men in the front row, and again the women up on their feet for him. There's a child there who's giving him the thumbs down. Maybe he's one of the BFG's adopted, or not adopted, but sired children, where the BFG has sired them and then walked away from that situation. We'll move to our second to last match for the evening then, and this one will require me to have a little sip of water, I believe, before we get started, because goodness gracious me, the action's been frantic and fast here. We'll walk you through this one as we make our entrances into the ring. First up, of course, we will have the Tange man.
Making his way to the ring from London, England.
His rivalry stems back many a week now with the Shinigami. Stretches all the way back to last season, really, when the Shinigami was the champion, and that man there tried to steal his championship. He ultimately ended up losing to the Shinigami, the Shinigami defeating him roundly, and that led to a Tange slump, the likes of which we haven't seen again in the KEW. Tange will be keen to avoid such a fate and know that he has to get the victory here. He has to beat the demon. There is no other way to get the demon off your back than other to lock him into the casket and send him down to the depths of the KEW graveyard. The Shinigami, of course, after the Tange stole his KEW title, or attempted to, last year. Sorry, I had a hiccup and a burp there. Since then, the Shinigami has kept an eye on the Tange, and as we mentioned, beat him pretty roundly, and of course defeated him not only last year but this year as well, when the Tange tried to pull some moves and was the number one contender. Tange was the title holder, and this man here challenged him in a Hell in the Cell, best of three falls, and a Tange didn't show up for that. This man treated it almost like a street fight, demolished the Tange in swift fashion, took the KEW title, and then didn't have to defend it again until he faced off against the Man Crusher, and we'll come back to this as well, I'm sure, in the next match. But the Tange elected, whilst it was in that title match between the Man Crusher and the Shinigami, to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, his HMV Steelbook briefcase, which we can reveal now, of course, was a Steelbook edition of the very first Batman 1960s film. Came with a little Batmobile and everything. But in there, in amongst the paraphernalia, was a contract that said that he could cash in that briefcase for a KEW title chance. He cashed it in and made an absolute mess of it, let's be honest. Cashed it in and ultimately ended up getting pinned by the Man Crusher, meaning the Man Crusher is now the KEW champion, not the Tanj. The Tanj will blame the Shinigami, the Shinigami blames the Tanj. Of course, not only do they have the fierce history between them, but they also have that now shared loss on the cards. And you can see here, normally the Tanj turns up with the blonde hair to fight the Shinigami, but it looks like at least the Shinigami has gone for a reverse psychology here. The Tanj looks a little dumbfounded, and yes, the Shinigami he's dyed his hair ginger for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Normally it's the reverse of that. Normally the Tanj dyes his hair blonde to infuriate the Shinigami, but it seems the Shinigami here has come out and dyed his hair ginger to try and get in the Tanj's head here. He says, you're not the only Tanj in the ring for this one. But the Tanj man, of course, will know he is the supreme Tanj, and surely that's only got to give him extra momentum here. He has started the faster of the two. Shinigami was going to try and get the early hit in, but the Tanj caught him. Ryan now has him on top of the casket on the outside as he kicks him off of it. And it looks like the Tanj looks like an angry, motivated individual now. Maybe a poor move from the Shinigami coming out with the ginger locks here, trying to get in the Tanj man's head. It's not worked at all. The Tanj is well and truly up for this one, it seems. Has him on the shoulder now, dropping him head first onto the casket. And I wondered if he'd get the casket open. He does indeed open the casket now. Poised and ready. Can he put the demon in it? It won't be the first time the demon's been in a casket, ladies and gentlemen. He, of course, lost the casket match famously to the Cyclops in our first Monster Mash pay-per-view, and that one was a hellacious battle between the two of them. And he reversed his fortunes at the last second now, the Shinigami. You can almost call him a veteran of this type of match here. He manages to get the Tanj into the casket, but surely that's going to be way too early. The Tanj kicks the casket in his face there, and now rolls back into the ring, and rolling out under the ring, the Shinigami I don't think has seen where the Tanj is coming. The Tanj sneaking up behind him, it looks like, gets hold of him from behind. Poor awareness there from the Shinigami, now lifts him up and delivers a shin breaker right on top of the Shinigami. Another stomp to the face there. And you can see that's not just a wig the Shinigami, of course, he has dyed his hair fully auburn for this one, matching the Tanj's colour. He'd had enough of the Tanj taking the mickey with his blonde blocks, and now has the sledgehammer out, and the Tanj sledgehammer right in the guts and again. And this is where the Shinigami looks to do the damage really once he goes for the hardware under the ring. He knows that he's got many a weapon in his arsenal under there. Lets the Tanj out of the corner, going to boot him in the face and send him back to the floor, targeting the knees now of the Tanj, ramming it into the floor as it's dangerously close to that sledgehammer there. Over the ropes he goes and now lands in the casket. It's the second time for Tanj to be in the casket, and now not surely on one hand there, the Tanj crawling back out of the casket. Plenty of momentum left here, and slow out of the ring was the Shinigami, but still managed to catch the Tanj a little unawares there as he slides over the back now and gets hold of the Shinigami on the shoulders now, lifts him, drops him knee first. Is that the Tanj to sleep? I think it was. Gave him a Tanj to sleep there and has left him out cold on the outside. I don't know quite where the Tanj is going. Up to the top rope he is now. Points to someone in the KEW crowd, maybe a child there who he wants to impress, and crossbodies down to the ground. You can see people with their phones and cameras out there. It looked like someone had a Nokia flip phone. Goodness gracious me, needs an update there. The child also getting his phone out as well as the Tanj beats the floor in his Tanj-like fashion, and now gets hold of him, goes for the Tanj knockout, but gets caught on the shoulder, slammed down to the ground there by the Shinigami, who saw it coming. He said, I've seen that one many a time before, you're not going to pull that one off on me. Gets hold of him by the back of the head now and takes the Tanj back into the ring. He knows he can catapult Tanj as he slides into the ring under the bottom rope there like a penguin on his belly. Has had Tanj in the position for the neck snap there. Tanj swiftly back to his feet now though, carried by the back of his head over into the corner, rammed into the top turnbuckle, and now the Shinigami gets hold of him and launches him across the ring as he bounces off the mat, clutching the lower back, and a big headbutt there sends the Tanj down to the floor, picking up the Oh, the sledgehammer again, the assault relentless from the Shinigami here. More sledgehammer shots to the Tanj, and now the Tanj back to his feet, gets hold of the Shinigami, and oh, he falls over and into the casket now, and the Tanj 1 foot in the casket, trying to shut it one-handed on the Shinigami. Surely he's going to need more power than that. Batters his way back out of it, and Tanj, I think, got caught in the face by the edge of the casket there, it looked like, as he now takes his way to go round the ring, and the Tanj has hold of the sledgehammer here. The Shinigami saw it coming, missed it completely. I think he got caught on the ring post, might have bounced his head off it, and Tanj gives him the sledgehammer to the guts to repay. Look, he caught him right in the crotch there as well. He's going for the belt buckle, it looks like, trying to ram the belt buckle into him. Now jumps on top of him, furiously pounding the head of the Shinigami away here. The Tanj in the ascendancy, it seems, once again. Can he get the Shinigami into the casket and get it shut? Pounds on the floor now, having a little strop, it looks like. I think he wanted him back in the ring, but it didn't quite work like that, and now drops the knee squarely on the head of the Shinigami, who jumps back to his feet, and big arms there right across the face of the Tanj, almost landing him on top of that sledgehammer on the outside there. Whipped down to the outside now. I think he was trying to go for a choke slam there, the Shinigami, and was called out by the Tanj, the wily Tanj, as he likes to be known in and amongst the KEW athletes in the locker room. Not that anyone ever refers to him as that. We have it on good authority. And now lifted, scooped up here onto the shoulder, and tossed like a child into the casket here, trying to shut the casket on the Tanj and bury him in it, and gets kicks out of it at the last second there, driving the casket into the face of the Shinigami. Now closes the casket, much to the boos of the KEW fans. Maybe he has more damage in mind here. A big scoop slam there as he stares at the people in the front row. Is that the same person that the Tanj was telling to get their camera ready earlier? Now up goes, and down he comes with a massive demonic choke slam, almost putting him through the artificial turf on the outside. It was that powerful. Now rammed into the ring post as well. Down goes the Tanj. He'd have to think, if he had the casket open here, surely this would be a prime chance for the Shinigami to get the Tanj in the casket and the casket lid shut, but he looks like he's focused on doing nothing other than destroying the Tanj one hit at a time. Now throws the sledgehammer squarely at him, gets him back to his feet slowly here as well. Maybe he's not content with just doing the damage to the Tanj, wants to try and put him away once and for all, much the way that the Skeleton King put away Benji earlier this evening. We of course don't have any reports on how Benji is doing, other than that he was carted off to A&E, taken up to North Mid. We understand, not the nicest place for him to be, but I'm sure he'll be getting the care that he needs there after being demolished by the Skeleton King, it has to be said. Started faster of the two in that match, but we'll keep you up to date if we have any updates on any of the conditions of him or Marcus. Tanj goes for the Tanj knockout there, and down goes the Shinigami. Now has the Shinigami got anything left in the tank after being bounced off the mat? The Tanj picks him up and dumps him onto the edge of the apron here, and boots him in the face, and into the casket he goes. Can the Tanj get the casket shut now and bury the Shinigami once and for all? Trying to put it behind him, trying to put the Shinigami to rest. The Shinigami, of course, is no athlete that's scared of being in the coffins, and has battled his way out of it before, and of course was put in it this time last year by the Spyclops, buried alive, we understand, but he exploded back out of it only a few weeks later to come back into the KEW and take the KEW title. So the Tanj will have to be careful here as he goes for the Tanj to sleep, and now piles it up. Maybe he's going to go for another Tanj knockout here, do the damage to the noggin. Down he goes, and the Shinigami now doesn't like he's got anything left in the tank. Surely this has got to be Tanj's to win. Over the ropes goes to Shinigami with the ginger here, and it's the KEW faithful chant one more time, but the Tanj has no interest in that, trying to battle down the casket, but the Shinigami again refusing to get into it. And now the Shinigami surely has to try and get a start of some offense back in this one. Rolls back in the ring too swiftly though, and gets his head bounced off the mat by the Tanj, and I'm sure the Tanj will look to inflict some more punishment here. It's just been all sledgehammer all the time between these two. Gets the sledgehammer and slides back in the ring with it now. Delivers it right to the back of the spine of the Shinigami, going after the back. furious, explosive shots from the Tanj. Jumps on top of the Shinigami now. Absolutely no breathing room for the big demon here. As we mentioned, of course, the Shinigami was buried alive this time last year in the Monster Mash pay-per-view by the Cyclops. And he did come back the stronger from it. He does seem to enjoy a bit of time in the grave. It's looking like he'll be back in there very shortly if he doesn't get things going here soon. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanj poised on top of that top rope, waiting for the Shinigami to get back to his feet, potentially just poised and waiting now. Patient game. I'm sure he's not meant to give the Shinigami this amount of time to recover, though. It's a long time he's spent sitting there. Jumps down eventually and catches the Shinigami whilst he's trying to get back to his feet. Has him on the shoulder now, but the Shinigami slips around and delivers a spike DDT. I said that he might have spent too long, the Tanj, on that top turnbuckle, and now the Shinigami has the sledgehammer. Took his time to stare down that person in the KEW crowd that Tanja pointed to earlier, and that was proves to be his undoing once again. Whoever that is in the crowd that Tanja's pointed out and then he wants to focus on, the Shinigami, is let that person get in their head as well. Maybe it's a member of the Tanja's family, maybe it's a prospective lady friend. No, big shot to the spine here, drives the Tanj down. And another one again, and again the Shinigami is up and staring in that direction every chance he gets hold of the Tanj now, and he's staring across the ring again, lifts him high. A big choke slam there, almost driving him onto the steel stairs. Goodness gracious me, hellacious choke slam from the Shinigami, and he's not done inflicting the punishment yet. A big axe handle shot, and now praises his Dark Lord, maybe looking for one last burst of energy to get the Tanj back into the ring and back into the casket. Picks him up by the back of his head here. You'd have to question, ladies and gentlemen, if Tanj gets put in that casket, is he going to have enough energy to dig himself out of it? He doesn't have Dark Lords he can go and pray to that'll burst him and give him the energy to get back out of the open or the shallow grave, whatever it is he's buried in. Not like the Shinigami does, where he just spends time recuperating in the darkness. And a Tanj knockout on top of the sledgehammer. Goodness gracious me. All I said about that might be it for the Tanj. He's come back into this one explosively. Has the Shinigami on his shoulders now. Oh, drops him down with a Tanj to sleep as well. And again, that sledgehammer is poised there. Another Tanj knockout blow on top of the sledgehammer. My goodness gracious me. How's the Shinigami going to recover from this, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not so sure he can. He looks spread eagle on the floor there. Surely the Tanj now just has to get him round the ring and get him into the casket, and this will be it. It looked like it was swinging the way of the Shinigami, but the Tanj at the last second here, with an explosion of offense, manages to get a Tanj to sleep and a couple of Tanj knockouts, and that might be it for the Shinigami. He looks woozy now as the Tanj, he's just delivering him into the steel steps, trying to break the ribs potentially of the Shinigami here. Gets hold of him again and launches him down towards the casket, and now the Shinigami is in just a position where Tanj wants him, surely. Picks him back up here, gets hold of him by the back of the neck and takes him towards that casket, ramming him head first into it. And the Shinigami might not know what day of the week it is. And again, the Tanj took the time to have a little look around there and have a look at behind him. It is that person who's behind him in the bottom corner. He's definitely got something going on there. There's a Shinigami trying to battle out, but can't. And the Tanj buries him into the briefcase, into the casket. It was the ultimate knockout, go to sleep knockout. The triple combination. The Shinigami tried his best to fight his way back out of it, but the Tanj, more than happy, gets the victory, puts the Shinigami in the casket, and he'll know that might mean he could be the next #1 contender for the KEW title. Again, pointing to someone in that side of the audience. There's definitely somebody there he was showing off for, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe that person is the person that he needs in the audience to get him up the KEW power rankings. We'll move though now to our final match for the evening, and it will be a KEW World Championship match that will see the Assassin taking on the Man Crusher. Of course, the Man Crusher will be accompanied by the Torpedo here this evening down ringside. He'll be there to watch his lady defend the KEW Championship, her first title defence. And we have seen the Assassin get out of his pram about this one. He's not happy at all that the Man Crusher was the #1 contender. He thought he should have beaten her in the gauntlet match. He thought he should have been the #1 contender. Complained to his tag team partner, the CEO, who has now bestowed him with this opportunity. And the Man Crusher may live up to the name yet, though. She, of course, already has the psychological advantage, knowing that that man there has never defeated her in single or double combat. Of course, she entered the gauntlet, defeated him in the gauntlet match, and she entered into the tag team division with her beloved. I'm sure she'll bring ringside with her, and defeated the Assassin and the Big Bird, Big Charles Bird, for the tag team titles, which they successfully defended already tonight. And the thing the Assassin will have to worry about that one is that the Man Crusher barely got out of second gear there. She was in control of that one from minute one, it looked like. As soon as she was let in the ring, her other half did a lot of the work for her. She only had to do a little bit of damage. And here he is with the tag team titles still around his waist from earlier this evening. She, of course, doesn't like carrying the silverware or gold herself, allows her man to carry the gold or the silverware down to the ring for her, or her servants to bring it along for her. Whoever it is she can get to carry the KEW Championship, she'll let them have it, and she'll take it off them for a show around the ring. She makes her way up to the ring. As we've mentioned, it wasn't an explosive introduction to the KEW for her. Slow start to her KEW career, thrust into the gauntlet match and won that, and a surprise victory, of course, in the triple threat match where Tanj cashed in his briefcase, lost out ultimately to that woman there who's just received the little smooch. And now look at this, he's mugging it off right in front of the Assassin with his championship, his tag team championship, right in his face. Your Torpedo getting in the head of the Assassin early doors, it seems, and there is the KEW title. It looks like she's got it around her shoulder now. As the Torpedo stands watching from the outside, he'll be cheering on his half of this representation. And look at this, the Assassin fired up. The KEW fans look like they are well behind him. As are many of the KEW fans right behind her. Double champion, she lifts the KEW Championship high. And the Assassin will not want to look this one as a gift horse in the mouth. He'll know he'll have to start fast against the Man Crusher. If you let the Man Crusher into the match, she has the power and she has the dominance to put anyone away in the KEW. She's showing that already. And then she has the psychological advantage, of course, of knowing that she can beat the Assassin. She's done it twice already before. And this, though, the biggest test. She's coming in, both opponents fresh. He looks motivated and angry, and she looks focused and ready to go. Her attention not drawn by the KEW tag titles either now. She is ready and set to focus solely on the championship that she is defending here against the Assassin, who comes out the faster of the two with the double knees to the chest and a little snap DDT there. And boots her across the ring. We've seen the Man Crusher use that move on many a person before. The backflip there from the Assassin goes for the early pin. Just a one count as she kicks out swiftly there. The Assassin picking her back up by the back of the head and the drop kick to the spine here, but she's back to her feet. I said that you have to get the dominance early doors, and a big face buster there driving the Assassin down, and now the stomp to the back of the neck, it looks like. Maybe she's going to try and target that as an area as the Assassin now crawls under the ropes for a break early doors. Well, that's very early to need a break, and she goes and joins him on the apron with a big left hook, drives the Assassin off the apron and lets him climb back into the ring and hop over the top rope. A little step back there, but catches him whilst he had his back turned. What he was doing there, I don't know. We do see these strange decisions from the Assassin sometimes. He runs and tries to get off the rope. Oh, the big bulldog there. Maybe that's what he had in mind for his first time around as well. Goes for another cover, just a one count again, and it seems a unwise move to go for covers too early sometimes in the KEW, but it does create a level of frustration. It does wear down your opponent having to constantly be kicking out, and he is the dominant opponent, dominant wrestler in this match so far, but gets caught a little shy there as the Man Crusher gets a boot up and boots him squarely in the chest, picks him up onto the shoulder now, drops him face first into the corner, and down goes the Assassin as he rolls to the outside and now takes his time to hop back over the ropes again. The Man Crusher waiting patiently and again catches him out as he tries to run for the ropes, and she sends him back to the outside. Is she going to look to join him out though? Perhaps she's just trying to get the count out victory. The ref's very slow in counting, up to a 1 now, as she's just waiting patiently. Now goes and joins him outside the ring and now back into the ring. Well, it's all that's done is reset the count. Maybe she wants it to be a fair fight. It's a curious choice from the Man Crusher. The Assassin now just stands and looks on from the outside, staring her down, perhaps trying to get the psychological advantage, but gets clotheslined down to the ground and again, and back to his feet here, goes for the kick, she catches him, the little toe drag sends him down to the ground, the little screams to the KW fans as well, trying to get them motivated behind their KW champion as she delivers the bulldog there, ramming the face of the Assassin into the KW's monster mash mat. Gets hold of the Assassin by the back of the head now, takes him towards the corner, and after the early start from the Assassin, it's been the Man Crusher who's back in the ascendancy now, the KW champion, trying to live up to the hype that got her the championship. She of course exploded out of the academy, couldn't deal with Dude Jeans, but managed to put that behind her in resplendent form, knocking off the opponent in the ring against her now, who runs and bounces off the ropes. Oh, the big kicks to the face there, drops the Man Crusher down, but she's back up, and oh, don't need to get Hurricanrana down immediately. And now the Assassin, he might look to put things away here. Is he feeling that he's an Assassin's edge away from getting the KW Championship for the first time in his career? Goes for the cover too, gets a shoulder up, the Man Crusher. Good awareness there as she crawls back to the corner here. Well, it's not where you want to be with the Assassin charging across the ring, drop kick to the spine. He is a fast athlete. You don't want to have the separation. You want to keep him close so he can't use that speed. Now, there he goes, the Assassin's twist there. Is it going to be enough, ladies and gentlemen? Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. We have a new KW champion. It is the Assassin, ladies and gentlemen, with his first KW championship, knocking off the Man Crusher, and you can see he is thrilled with that one, where it was one title defense too many potentially, and look at that, rips it off of the referee here, aggressive from the Assassin. He's happy with that one, ladies and gentlemen. He is our new KW champion. He said he was deserving of the chance. I'm sure the Tange will have his number and will be coming for him in the coming weeks in the KW. There'll be many an athlete now who have the KW champion in their sights, and they will know that it will not be an easy task to chase that man down. He is one of the fastest athletes in the KW, on explosive end here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching this thrilling episode of the KW. Join us next week when we see how Benji's doing. We still have no reports on him from the hospital. He was carted off, of course, in the ambulance match from Mark. We'll see if the Shinigami's dug himself out of his grave, whether Tange actually bothered to bury him or not. Who knows, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll see who will become the #1 contender in the coming weeks in the KW for that man's belt there. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time for more thrilling KW action. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.